Hey guys, it's me, Sarah. But you can tell I'm in my house. I'm at home. I'm recording a video for you guys because today is the first day of our Sunday school academic year. So happy first day of school, guys. I am so excited to get to talk to you guys about our first Sunday school reading of the church year. And it's actually one of two stories about how the world was created. And I have a book that's going to help us learn a little bit about the story. So the first part of our story isn't actually in the book that I'm about to share with you, but it is in this book, which is very big. This is my copy of the Bible that I use when I'm studying. I don't carry it around with me all the time. I put a cover on it so I could keep it a little bit nice. But it's in Genesis 2, so the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 4. So you can pause the video, grab a Bible, and go to Genesis, it's the first book right at the beginning, chapter 2, verse 4. This is what it says. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. In the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, when no plant of the field was yet in the earth, and no herb of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no one to till the ground, but a stream would rise from the earth and water the whole face of the ground. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the earth, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living being. Now we're going to jump to verse 15. So find your way down the page to verse 15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You may freely eat of every tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall die." And now our storybook begins. One of the animals that God created was very tricky, the serpent. The serpent was clever and sly and up to no good. Did God really say you can't eat the fruit from the trees in the garden? The serpent hissed softly to Eve. "No," said Eve. "God said we can eat fruit from any of the trees in the garden except from the tree in the middle of the garden. God said not to eat from that one, not even to touch it." The serpent smiled a sneaky little smile. "Ha! God doesn't want you to eat fruit from the tree because if you do, you'll know everything. You'll be just like God." And the serpent hissed in his sly way. Eve looked at the tree in the middle. That fruit sure looked good. So she ate some, and she gave some to Adam too. As soon as they ate the fruit, everything changed. Adam and Eve became very embarrassed and shy. They sewed some leaves together, making some pretend clothes to try to cover up their bodies. They stood nervously behind some bushes. Then they heard God walking around in the garden. God called out to them, "Yoo-hoo, where are you?" Adam and Eve hid. "Hey, where'd you go?" called God. Adam peeked out from behind some vines. He said, "I heard you, and I was afraid." "Why were you afraid?" asked God. I'm naked for one thing," said Adam, who was quite embarrassed. "So I hid." "I see," God replied. "Who told you you were naked?" Adam said nothing. "Did you eat fruit from the tree I told you not to eat from?" asked God. "Eve gave it to me," Adam blurted out. "The serpent made me," exclaimed Eve. "He tricked me." God sighed. "I told you not to eat from that tree. Because you have done what I told you not to do, life will be difficult for you now. You will have to leave this beautiful garden and work very hard to get the things you need. Now you will know what it is to be unhappy, and someday you will die. I made you from dust. When you die, you will become dust again." God made some real clothes for Adam and Eve and sent them out into the big world. And God was with them everywhere they went. So part of this story is talking about how everything was created and how God created everything. And there's a lot in the world. There are a lot of people. There are also a lot of plants. If I look outside, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of trees, a couple more across the street probably. And then we know that there are lots of types of animals. In fact, what I want you to do is I want you to pause this video after I ask you this and talk about it with your family. What is your favorite thing in nature? So that could be a type of plant, type of rock, a type of animal. I want you to pause right now and turn to somebody that you're watching with and talk to them about what your favorite part of nature is. Can I share with you what my favorite animal is? Oh my God, here he is. This is Buddy, this is my dog. He gets to be at church with me when I have church at home. He's my favorite animal because he gives me kisses, and he's very excited to see me when I come home from work, and he's just a good friend to stay in the house with me. He wants to be in every single video or meeting I have on the computer, so I had to include him a little bit in today's video. So thank you, Buddy, for being in today's video. Oh, that was a you're welcome kiss. So you might remember me saying at the beginning of today's video that we have 2 different stories about how the world was created in the Bible. So we have these 2 different stories, but, gonna blow your mind a little bit, both of them are true. How can you have 2 different stories but both be true? They are true because they tell us true things about us as people, about God as God, and about the world that God created. So let's go through the story together and we'll hear about what those true things are. So today's story started in a garden, which is why I brought you outside to my garden. There's some more of it over there. Maybe I'll show you in another part of the video. But God starts by creating the world and then creates this beautiful garden, but decides that there need to be someone to help tend the garden and till it. That's what I do when I pull the weeds out of my garden, or when I give our plants some fertilizer so they can grow big and strong. God wanted somebody that could help look after the garden. So God creates Adam and Eve. Both of these stories are true, but they may not have exactly happened as we read them. That sounds a little silly. How could something be true but not have happened? Well, again, to go back to what I said earlier, they're true because they tell us truths about God and about us. The truth of that first creation story is that God wanted to create a beautiful world full of wonderful, beautiful things, and then create wonderful, beautiful beings to help look after it. That's the truth of the story. But then another character enters our story. It's this tricky little snake, and the snake slithers up to the people and says, I know that God told you you can eat of anything you want in this wonderful garden, right? And they say, oh, that's right. Yeah, we've got this beautiful garden. We can eat whatever we want in it. I've got some kale. I can eat my kale. And it's delicious. And God created it for me. All we do, we look after the garden and we look after all the animals that are in it. And yeah, we can eat of anything, except there's a plant over there that we're not supposed to eat. There's this beautiful plant with lots of fruit on it, but God told us that we can't eat that. And the snake said, God was just it's just playing a game with you. He's just lying to you. If you eat that fruit, you can become as powerful and as smart and full of knowledge as God is. Look at how tasty it looks. And Eve was like, oh yeah, I mean, it does look really good. I mean, I could just try it. I mean, what's a little extra knowledge, right? Knowledge is a good thing, right? We want to learn, so yeah, I guess I'll just try it. And it was delicious. It was the best thing. So she said to Adam, you gotta try it. Man, you gotta try it. Oh my God, so good. And then something happened, right? We hear about that in the story. But what's the truth of that first bit with the snake? Well, the truth is that people like me and like maybe some people you know are always gonna wanna know more. We're always gonna wanna feel in control. And so to hear that there's a fruit that you can eat and be in control and be super smart and know everything, as people, that's just something we're gonna want. That's the truth in this story. It may not have actually happened. There may not have been a talking snake in a garden, but as people, that talking snake and what Adam and Eve do tells us something true about us as people. So what happens? Well, Eve and Adam realize they've been walking around naked the whole time, and they go and they hide in the garden, and they hope that God doesn't find them. And then God's walking around the garden. Adam, Eve, where are you guys? Are you here? Hello? Anybody home? I mean, I know you are. I put you here. Where are you? Oh, hey, God, how are you? Yeah, we're just hiding behind these leaves here. Well, no reason, just hide. Okay, we listened to the snake, we ate the fruit, we did a bad thing. Oh gosh, we're sorry. Now, they did get in trouble for this. In the story, their days become numbered, which basically means that eventually they will grow old and pass away. And God does kick them out of their awesome garden. So there are consequences to the truth that we know of people always needing to have control over everything. But the truth of this story in the end is that God doesn't abandon Adam and Eve. He kicks them out of the garden. But he doesn't say, you're on your own, bye-bye, talk to you never, right? God stays with him. God does not abandon Adam and Eve, and that's the truth of this story, which may not have actually happened. The truth is that no matter how terrible a thing that we do is, how bad we feel about it, God doesn't abandon us. That's a pretty good truth. So one of the truths that our story today talks about is that God creates a world intended to be good and beautiful and lovely. And so I wanted to take a second for you to talk to somebody about what you enjoy the most about creation, about nature. How do you feel when you are in a forest surrounded by big tall trees, or on a rocky coast with the waves crashing right up next to you? How does that make you feel? So go ahead and pause this video, turn to somebody next to you, and talk about how you feel when you are in nature, this beautiful nature that God has created. So before we go, I want to play a quick game with you guys. I'm going to hold up some items and I want you to tell me if God created them or not. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to grab my first one. How about this? It's a beautiful house plant. It's real. What do we think? Did God create this plant? If you said yes, you're right. I take care of this plant. I give it water and I pick any dead leaves off of it. There are a few in here. God created this plant. Let me get my second thing. What about this? It's an envelope. Did God create this envelope? It's a tricky one. So we know that paper that this envelope's made of is made from trees. So God created trees, and all the little bits that make up this envelope, even the plastic, the sticky glue on the inside of the top, all of the little pieces that make up that sticky glue and make up this paper, God created it. Which is pretty cool. What about, here's one. I have some gel that I use when I get a sunburn. A little bit pink right now. This looks pretty chemically, right? A long list of ingredients on the back. Tetracholamine. Plastic bottle. Plastic top. Not the best for the environment, but did God create this? Well, yeah, all the stuff that makes up plastic, all these long-named chemicals, they all exist because God created what makes them up. So that's pretty cool. What about me? Did God create me? Yeah, you're right. And what about you? Yep. And the story today tells us about God's creation and about us in particular as a part of that. We always want power, we want control, we want all the knowledge we can possibly get. As people, we want control. And today's story is that sometimes it might be good not to always want control and to say, God, you are so big, you're so great. Can you say that with me? God, you're so big, you're so great. You made all this stuff, you made this plant, you made me, and maybe now we can also say that maybe we didn't really need to eat that fruit. But the Bible is God's story and our story. So we got to read it for both truths. God truths and people truths. And that's today's story. So from Buddy and me, have a great week, guys. I will see you in the video I'll post next week about our next story. You gonna be there too, buddy? I think he sees a squirrel. What? Is there a squirrel? Oh, okay, there's a squirrel. We're gonna go chase a squirrel, but then we'll see you next week. Bye!